Hi Vineyard family and friends. I'm just sending this video for a couple reasons. One is I want to share with you a story from last week, and I also want to talk about some adjustments that we're making to the worship services even this coming Sunday, so you'll want to pay attention throughout this whole video. But first of all, the story was at our pastor's meeting that we had last week. It was the Mama group. You guys know about Mama. It's the Marysville Area Ministerial Association. I think I got that right. So the Mama group met, and we met at Partners Park, which is the park right beside the library. And we were sitting on two of the benches that were pretty close to the road. And some of the pastors were actually on lawn chairs. Most of them were on the benches. And we heard the big trucks going by, so there was a loud noise from the trucks and the cars that were driving on Main Street. And then halfway through the meeting, we heard the splash pad came on and the sprinkler system started going. So we heard the splash pad on the one side, the cars and the trucks on Main Street on the other side. And I had to lean in even more to listen to the pastors. And then during the closing prayer, while Gene Miller, the pastor of Agape, was praying, the music kicked on and in the big speaker system right behind us. And it was loud. So the music was loud, the cars were going by, the splash pad was on, and it was crazy. And I couldn't hear anything that Pastor Gene was praying. But during that time, I felt like I heard the Lord say something. And there's a lot of distractions in this life. And during this time in our lives, you might feel like, the enemy's trying to bring distractions from all sides. And it was just a reminder to keep our focus on the main and the plain of the Bible and keep our focus on what Jesus has been leading us to do and not deviate from that, even though the enemy might be bringing distractions on all sides. And this certainly is a time when it could be easy for the church to get distracted. So I just want to encourage you to keep to the main and plain of Bible reading, worship, prayer, coming together as a church family. All of those things are so basic that we can come together to encourage each other, and all the more as the end times, as we see the great day approaching, the day of the Lord. And so just wanted to share that. So that's my encouragement. Stay focused. And now I want to talk about the Sunday morning experience and some adjustments that we're going to be making even this coming Sunday. We've had a number of discussions with our elder team the past couple weeks, and we've been thinking through some things and discussing together about our worship services. And so we made this decision that we're now saying, starting this Sunday, that there's two distinctions between the service, or there's a distinction between the two services. The 9 o'clock service we're now calling the mandatory mass service, and it's those that come to the first service, the 9 o'clock service, are wearing masks throughout the entire worship service as we've been doing in the past. And we feel there's a need to keep the standard extremely high for the first service, even as the numbers go down here in Union County, because they have been going down. I think there's 23 cases right now in all of Union County, and that's the last I heard anyway. And so even as the numbers go down, we feel like it's important so that those who are concerned about their health or the health of family members can easily come to church and feel safe, and that we keep the standard extremely high, so that we can feel rest assured. If I'm coming to the first service, I know that that everyone will be wearing masks, and while we even continue the social distancing. So that's first service, the mandatory mass service. Then the second service we're calling restaurant style service. And that is we encourage you, when you're coming to second service, wear your masks while you're going through the foyer and until you're safely seated within your family units. And then when you're safely seated there, you can take off your mask if you feel comfortable doing that. And so we have a number of partnering churches that have been utilizing this approach ever since the governor's mandate came out as far as masks for indoor settings. I know Agape Christian Fellowship has been doing that, and I think The Rock has been as well. I know Living Hope has been doing that. So for the second service, we would encourage people, wear your masks while you're coming into the foyer and as you're exiting the church. Keep in mind that our foyer is very small. It's going to be hard to maintain social distancing in the foyer, and it could become a crowded foyer. So we really need to be careful to keep things going, to keep moving through the foyer. But then when you're seated within your family units, 6 feet away from others, then you can take off your mask if you desire. And so this second service would be the service for those who are not wearing masks due to medical reasons. If you cannot wear a mask due to medical reasons, then this service is the one that you would attend. And also additionally, it would also be the service where we're going to be serving coffee in the near future. We're hoping to serve coffee, Lord willing, in November. And so this would be the service where we start serving coffee, and and obviously it's hard to drink coffee and wear your mask at the same time. So the second service would be the restaurant style service, would be the service that we serve coffee in. I said a lot there, okay? So I know I said a lot, but a couple things to keep in mind. If there's a spike in COVID cases in our county, we will likely go back to mandatory masks for both services. So keep that in mind. We'll be watching the numbers, and we'll be listening closely to that. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me or contact Vicki or call Aaron at the church office. Don't hesitate to ask your questions. All of this, it just seems right to us and the Holy Spirit, as the early apostles said in the book of Acts. It seemed right to us and the Holy Spirit. And that's kind of how I feel about this. We've been seeking God for wisdom. We know that people are in very different places when it comes to all of this. And we know we can't please everybody, but we do have the luxury of having 2 services, and that gives us some flexibility. And so we're going to try this right now. And the last thing I'd like to say is let's just keep praying for each other. Like I said in the beginning, the enemy's trying to bring a lot of distractions. We really need to stick to the main and plain of what Jesus is leading us to do, and doing the small things in obedience to Jesus. God bless you.